KSJE and the Farmington Public Library present Cuentos Hahne and Tales.
My name is Beth Troxell, and I'm from the Farmington Public Library. I have found some stories to read to you from our collection. I have picked a book. It's called Chikasha Stories Volume 3, Shared Wisdom by Glenda Galvan. And she has a collection of stories that she had put together. And so the first one that I'm going to read is called Crow and Hawk. And it says, as told to Ruth Benedict. This story is dedicated to all parents and grandparents, whether natural, adoptive, or foster. And then she says that her husband and her are foster parents, and this piece serves as a reminder of how important families and bonding should be to each of us. And this is called Crow Had a Nest. Crow had a nest and had been sitting on her eggs for many days. But she got tired of sitting there, and she flew away. While she was gone, Hawk came by day after day after day and found no one sitting on the nest of eggs. Hawk said to herself, "The person who owns this nest no longer cares for it. I am sorry for those eggs lying in that empty nest. I will sit on those poor little eggs, and they will be my children." She sat many days on the eggs, and no one came to the nest to check on them. Finally, they began to hatch. Still, no crow came. The little ones all hatched out, and the mother hawk flew about getting food for them. They grew bigger and bigger, and their wings got strong. At last, the mother hawk took the little ones off the nest. At this time, Crow remembered her nest and came back to it. She found all her eggs had hatched, and Hawk was taking care of her little ones. One day she met Hawk out feeding with her little ones. "Hawk!" "Yes, what is it? What do you want?" "You must return these little ones you're leading around." "Why did you leave them?" asked Hawk. "Because they are mine," said Crow. "Yes, you laid the eggs, to be sure, but you have no pity on them when you left them and never returned to see that they had proper care," replied Hawk. "You went off and left them, and I came and sat upon the nest and hatched them. When they were hatched, I fed them, and now I lead them about. They are mine, and I shall not return them." Crow and Hawk argued back and forth until Hawk finally said to Crow, "I shall not give them up. I have worked for them, and for many days I have fasted sitting there upon the eggs, and all that time you did not come near your eggs. Why is it now that I have taken care of the little ones and brought them up, and they have grown, that you want them back?" "Come, my little children, for I am your mother," said Crow. But the little ones answered, "We do not know you. Hawk is our mother." When Crow could not make the little ones understand, she told Hawk that they would go to court to get their answer. Hawk answered, "That is good. I am willing, and we shall see who has the right to these little ones." So Mother Crow took Mother Hawk before Eagle, chief of the bird clan. Eagle said to Crow, "Why did you leave your nest?" The crow hung her head and had nothing to say. At last Crow said, "When I came back to my nest, I found my eggs already hatched and the hawk taking charge of the little ones. I have come to ask that the hawk be required to return the children to me." Eagle asked of Hawk, "How many times did you find this nest of eggs?" "Many times I came to this nest of eggs and found it empty. No one came for a long time. And at last I took pity on the poor little eggs. I said to myself, the mother who made this nest can no longer care for those eggs. I should be glad to hatch these little ones. I worked hard and brought them up, and they have grown." Mother Crow interrupted Mother Hawk and said, "But these are my children. I laid the eggs." Mother Hawk answered, "We are both asking for justice, and it will be given to us." "Is that all?" asked Eagle. "Yes. I have worked hard to raise my little ones. Just when they were grown, Mother Crow came back and asked to have them back again. But I shall not give them back. It is I who fasted and worked, and now they are my little ones." The chief of the bird clan said, "The Mother Hawk is not willing to return the little ones to the Mother Crow. And if you really had pity on your little ones, why did you leave your nest for so many days and are now demanding them back? The Mother Hawk is the mother of the little ones, for she has fasted and hatched them and flew about searching out their food. Now they are her children." Mother Crow said to Eagle, chief of the bird clan, "You should ask the little ones which mother they will follow." So Eagle asked the little ones which mother they chose. The little ones answered together, "Mother Hawk is our mother. She is all the mother we know." The Crow children said, "In the nest you had no pity on us, and you left us. Mother Hawk hatched us, and she is our mother." So it was finally settled, as the little ones had finally chosen, that they were the children of Mother Hawk, who had pity on them in the nest and brought them up. Mother Crow began to weep. "Do not weep," said Eagle, chief of the bird clan. "It is your own fault that you have lost your children, because you left the nest. It is the final decision of the bird clan that these little ones shall go with the Mother Hawk." And so it was. So that was the story of Crow and Hawk. So the next story, now this book is really cool because it has it translated. So the next story is Sparks of Life. And this account has been retold for many years, although we cannot locate the source. It serves as a reminder of the compassion of Abba Ben Lee, impressed on our elders. In a Chickasaw town lived an old man who had served his people in his younger days in war and helped his people in many ways, but now was growing feeble and could not go out anymore. But his opinion was sought on many things, for he was a wise man for his time. Some had asked him if he could tell them anything about the spirits, and this old man said, "Yes, I can tell all of you people. Come and sit here on the grass while I tell you about them. We are all sparks from Abba Ben Lee. He scatters us out here and there to make lights in the towns, and when it pleases him, he gathers us up again. When we die, our spark goes to him, and if it pleases him, we are sent back. The good spirits and the evil spirits both come back here again, but only the good ones can help others, for the bad ones are just dead sparks and can do nothing. The time when the dead ones could do anything was before they left here the first time. After they go away once, they can only come back and let you hear them. But they can do you no harm, for their power is gone. They are just like the sparks from the fire. They shine a little while, and then they do not shine. Abba Ben Lee is the only power here. What he does is good, and the spirits he sends to us are the good ones. You know the spirits come because you see and hear them at night. You think that because you hear them at night, they are evil spirits. But that is only because it is night. The spirits who come from Abba Ben Lee come to do you good and bring you a message from another spirit to your spirit to let you know what it is you should do. I am an old man, and I have seen some good warriors and some fierce warriors go to the death, and I have met their spirits after that. The message they brought, when I could understand it, was a good message. I have believed the message, and I have tried to do what was brought to me. Now you, who have friends and families who have gone on, see if you do not find a good spirit who will bring us only what we need to keep us alive. For the good spirit will bring us only what we need. The good spirits are everywhere. They come and gather up the other sparks for Abby Binley and take them back to where they started, so as to make one big blaze in the fireplace where all join and send out one big light to show us where the house of Abba Binley is. These spirits come back here to gather up the wandering sparks, to keep them all together for us, so we will know where they are. We must not be afraid of them, for they know we are akin to them. I go myself soon to make big bright light with Abba Binley. So that was the tale of the sparks of life. So we have time for one more, and this is called How Turkey Got Human Hair. We know Rabbit and Terrapin had their race, and how Terrapin won that race. Well, Terrapin was still celebrating his victory and decided to go hunting. He took a couple of his brothers with him, and they soon headed back to their town with plenty to eat. Just before they got to the river, they spied something lying on the pathway in front of them. It was locks of hair, and the Terrapins felt sure it was from the Chickasaws who lived down the river. Terrapin picked them up and carried them over his shoulder, thinking he would tell the whole town about how brave he had been when he had encountered the Chickasaws. Along came Turkey, who spied the dried meat over their shoulders. He tried to talk them out of it, saying he had been out hunting and had no luck because the Terrapins had hunted and left nothing for him. Terrapin and his brothers didn't want to share, but since they had plenty, they decided to give Turkey a little of their dried meat. Turkey noticed the locks of their hair and inquired about how they had taken it from the Chickasaws. The Terrapins told Turkey that they had battled the Chickasaw hunters for the meat and had won, just like they had won the race against Rabbit earlier. Now Turkey just knew if he had those locks of hair, he could have any pretty girl he wanted, and he was looking for a wife. He asked Terrapin if he could at least look at the hair. Terrapin told him no, and they began to move down the path, again bragging to one another. Turkey told Terrapin at least to let him show the brothers that the hair would look better if they wore it draped around their necks. They finally gave some of their hair to Turkey, who proceeded to place the locks around his neck, all the while inching backward very slowly until he was away from the three Terrapins. He finally took off running with the locks around his neck. The Terrapins were quick and precise with their tiny bows and arrows, shooting Turkey in both legs, crippling him. To this day, Turkey has the locks of Chickasaw hair around his neck and splinters in his legs. That is why a chicken leg contains one big bone, unlike his brother, the turkey. So that was the story of how the turkey got human hair. So now we will read the last one, How Trouble Came to the Chickasaws. Mr. Alligator was sunning himself on a log when Rabbit came to him and said, "Mr. Alligator, have you ever seen the trouble?" "No, Mr. Rabbit, I have not seen the trouble, but I am not afraid of trouble, and you can tell them so." Rabbit the trickster was jealous of Alligator. Why should he be able to live both on land and and in water. Besides, he always seemed so happy and contented with whatever he was doing. So Rabbit told Alligator to follow him high up on a hill, hoping to take Alligator so far away from the water that he wouldn't make it back alive. But lo and behold, Alligator traveled back to the water without any problem. "I just thought if you would come up to the hill, you'd see trouble," said Rabbit. Disappointed, Rabbit had to come up with another plan to get Alligator up the hillside. A few days later, Rabbit came by to visit Alligator. "Now, Mr. Alligator, if you see something rising towards the sky, don't be afraid, for trouble will just be starting out," said Rabbit. "Now, don't you worry about me, because I don't get scared. And when you see the deer running and the birds flying past you, don't get scared," Rabbit told Alligator. The next day, Rabbit started a fire nearby on top of the hill and called to Alligator for help. Alligator quickly got out of the warm water and headed for Rabbit, who was hidden in tall grass on the other side of the next hill. Alligator smelled smoke, but did not recognize the smell, since he'd never known fire or smoke. As he crawled toward Rabbit's voice, the heat from the fire burned his beautiful skin. Alligator used to have the most beautiful skin, creamy, white, and smooth. He was also a happy fellow, spending his days swimming in the river or roaming the land. When he finally got back to the water, his skin was cracked and wrinkled and muddy dark brown. Rabbit was laughing hard and slapping his knees because Alligator was so ugly. By then, Alligator realized he'd been tricked. This is how trouble came to us. Never before did we have trouble with fire. It was sacred, and we only used it for cooking and warmth. However, thanks to Rabbit the trickster, this is how we first got trouble. So these were stories from Chikasha Volume 3, Shared Wisdom by Glenda Galvan, illustrated by Jenny Barber. I hope you enjoyed these stories. If you would like to read more, we have more folk tales and stories at the Farmington Public Library, or you can go to our website at www.infoway.org. Thank you.
This has been Cuentos Hahne and Tales, presented by the Farmington Public Library and KSJE 90.9 FM.